ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. I remember saying this once before, but anybody that's watching this as their first video, we always start with Fateh because it's a sign of humbleness and humility, and teaches us to start from understanding that everything is of Vaheguru, and this makes me no bigger or smaller just because I'm saying all of these things. So we always start with Fateh, right? The first topic out of concern of someone or someone's question was about the idea of meat and if eating meat in Sikh is allowed. And so, sorry, Sikh. Okay, let's actually break this down. So, why is it that in Sikh people always say that you're not allowed to eat meat? So, some people will argue that it has to do with spirituality or your closeness with God, right? So, from that perspective, I'm going to talk about two different historical moments in which the Sikhs either ate meat or is speculated they eat meat, and that's what's written in our Ityas. First of which is Guru Nanak Dev Ji when he was traveling all the way to Kaaba, or what we call Makkah, Medina. From here, or from Punjab all the way to Makkah, he traveled by foot, through deserts, through barren wastelands, through mountains. The chances of him finding vegetarian food everywhere he went is very little to none. Agreed? Second is Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, or even so when Guru Gobind Singh Ji goes to meet who we know as Baba Banda Singh Bahadur, right? It's said that at his pilgrimage, at his the place where he stayed, Guru Sahib decided to cook meat, and word got to what's his name? Who we know as Baba Banda Singh Bahadur now. I'm sorry, his name is slipping in my mind. And he pretty much, so Guru Sahib cooks lamb, and he gets really mad. He comes back and he sees that Guru Sahib sitting on this chair where he's supposed to be sitting, and the story has it that he tries flipping Guru Sahib's chair, he can't do it, and he finds out that it's Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and so he falls at Guru Sahib's feet and he becomes his banda, right? And so Guru Sahib changes his name, right? Another story is when Baba Banda Singh Bahadur was sieged for 6 months, and after the siege ended, they went inside and there was no sign of any of the horses that were with the Singhs at the time. And some of them had even taken out the meat from their own thighs and ate it. That's the story. Again, it's up to your interpretations. I am just stating different facts, different stories, and different views on these topics. And on top of that, Guru Sahib is known to have done shikar. Guru Harkrishan Ji and Guru Hargobind Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji for sure, and every other Guru, up to your interpretation again. If you think that they're all the same jot, then again, to even one Guru is enough for that, right? Second is the Bani perspective, where it says mas kar murik chagdi kya dhyan nahi janne kya mas kya saag bukhane, something line around that, right? And so that's pretty much like attacking the idea of like this argument we have of one flesh being a different type than another, and how one is more pure than another. And then, if you go back to Baba Banda Singh Bahadur Shahidi, we admit that he was a very good Gursikh, and well, again, some Sikhs have this belief of meeting Akal Purkh after death, while others, like myself, think that it happens in this life, right? And realizing Akal Purkh in this life. And so, then you have to understand that his son's heart was taken out of his body and put into Baba Banda Singh Bahadur's mouth. And so, that meat going into his body would pretty much guarantee the fact that he's not going to God. Like, oh, he ate meat. I would have brought him to me, but, he ate meat. There's no reason for me to bring him anymore. That it's a valid argument, right? If that's the reason that we're not allowed to eat meat is because of spirituality, then it makes sense. That, he's not going to be able to go to Akal Purkh because he ate meat. Now some people will be like, no, there's a difference between intentional and unintentional. The deed matters. Why they do it matters. At the end of the day, right? So if it's the idea of keeping the inside clean, then that gets attacked and that gets destroyed, right? Second of all, people argue that it's all about the mental, which I also agree with. If you don't need it, don't eat it. But then, here's a question for y'all. How many of you guys have ever had a doctor that was like, yo, your gulab jamun intake is too little and you need a few more gulab jamun in your system? I ain't never heard no goddamn doctor say that. If you know a doctor that said that, hook a brother up. Because, why do we eat gulab jamun? Because they taste good. Eating meat sometimes is okay. But now if that's all you crave, just like sleep, all of these things, if all you crave is sleep in your life and you're like, you know what, I need to get my work done so I can go to sleep. You don't care about your rishte, you don't care about anything else in life except for sleeping. Guru Sahib even calls sleep wrong. Guru Sahib says sleep is the poison then. Same thing with meat, same thing with flesh, all of that stuff. Hey. And so, Sikhi does not say don't eat meat. There's even a shabd that says, Pati tode malani pati pati jio, so pahar nir pati tode, so pahar nir jio. That in every single leaf there is life. And every time and it's talking about someone that does yard work, right? And every time you decide to cut a single leaf, a single branch, you're killing life, essentially, right? And so, it's like, why don't you take that into consideration? And there's a story about Guru Har Gobind Ji when he was a little kid. He's traveling and his chola catches onto a flower. And he rips the flower off and he sees it and he starts crying. And Panjweh Pasha sees him. And he comes back and he's like, why are you crying? And Guru Har Gobind Ji as a kid goes, I just killed this flower. And Guru Sahib says, well, what can you do about it now? He's like, nothing, I just feel really bad. And so Guru Sahib says, well, you learned something from it, right? He said, yeah. He's like, so don't do it again. That every single piece of life on the face of this planet has some sort of value. And we need to respect that value. And so Guru Har Gobind Ji decides to start holding his chola up instead of letting it hit the ground. That's the story. Again, open to interpretation. This is just a story that it's one version, and that's one story that is an example of this. So this dogma of not being able to eat meat, I don't agree with it. Again, do I eat meat? No, absolutely not. Why is that? Because first of all, it destroys the planet. Me being a hippie completely. Did you know most of the greenhouse gases produced that destroy the earth are formed from methane. And guess what's the biggest producer of methane? That's right, cows. And where are a large majority of cows raised? Slaughter farms, essentially. So my way of protesting against all of that is, well, I don't need it. I would rather have a planet than have meat. And also, I just don't need it. Like, all the protein I need, all the fats I need, all of that stuff. And plus, I enjoy my gulab jamuna. If I had to choose between a nice piece of steak, first I've never had steak, but just smells repulsive, or between that and sag hands down, fam. You do you though. And part of it obviously is just my own personal preference. That like I've been grown up with. Like my parents have always told me not to eat meat, so like part of it is just the psyche that got to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like, yo. Never had butter chicken, or I've had butter chicken once. I cried almost because again at that point I thought like, Guruji's never gonna love me. Like, why do we make our kids fear that God's not gonna love us? God loves us regardless. Like, Guruji's not gonna be like, oh, aaj bande ne paath nahi kita, you know what, I'm taking his saw away. No. Every day we, like, most of us, even me, wake up in the morning and commit some sort of sin. Does Guru Sahib just decide, thunderbolt, screw Jasprit Singh? No, like, it's just like, okay. Dokta te nahi hona jas. And it's just like, okay, I'll have to deal with it. That's what we don't understand. Vaheguru, the path of meeting Guru is not one of hate or resilience. It's one of love. One of understanding. Tum karo pala hum palo na jane. It's true, right? Mahtab saying, as funny as that is, that like, as funny as that example is, like, at the end of the day, Vaheguru Akal Purkh is like, yo, the reason I care for you, the reason we follow Sikhi is because, yo, all of this stuff that you're holding in your head, all these lenses, the way you see all of this stuff, it's gonna affect you, man. It's gonna catch up to you. You're going to feel pain. And we feel that when we lose close friends, we feel that when we gain something, we feel that way when we stand up on stage and say something. We have certain feelings, certain attachments, certain outlooks on the world that at the moment might feel good, but at their very essence are so shallow that they cause us pain, and so temporary that our whole life is spent jumping from one value to another, thinking we're going to find happiness in it. Essentially, right? This is going to give me, like, happiness. When I get a 4.0 in this class, I'll get happiness. Like, if I decide to get a 4.0 in that class and I get it, like, Baba's, like, you know how many nights I've spent on Sundays and Saturdays studying for a test? Baba ain't gonna be like, आज इन्हें Saturday Sunday पाठ नहीं कीता, thunderbolt. नहीं, इन्हें आज खूह च डिगना. No, I'm sending him back to India. Deport his ass. No. Guru's like, okay. If you think that's gonna give you happy, okay. I get that 4.0. Am I happy? Maybe. For the moment. Then the next test comes. Then the next one. And then the next one. Then someday I go from this world and I've just chased after those tests. I've had my own self-identity. I've been so wrapped around myself. Dunya might be from like tas nas. Everything is flipped on its head. But as long as I get my 4.0s, fam, we chillin'. Yeah, all of it. All of it is temporary joy. All. There is... Mahtab Singh was talking about Thunderbolt, right? And then on top of that, when we start talking about this idea of meat, we get rid of the idea. We never understand why we talk about it in such a way. like, why does Guru Sahib mention it all? Or why is it mentioned our Brat Maryada? First of all, what's written is Kutha Mas Nahi Khana. Now, what does that mean? Kutha Mas is any meat that's prepared spiritual or like with ceremonial offering. That means Chataka. Chataka is the idea of taking a sword and smashing something once. If you have to do it twice, don't count. There's no Chataka. If you do Chataka, it's a ceremonial way of preparing your food. It has to be prepared in a certain way or else I'm not going to eat it. Ceremonial, right? Thank you. Sound like Obama. Then any part, any aspect of our food, if it has to do with our spirituality, that's what's not allowed in Sikhi. When you just sit there and you're like, oh, like, ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਸਰਬਲੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਇਆ, like, ਭੰਗ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ, like, I have to take Amrit again. Or, like, oh, you made this, like, prashada and you know Amritari. That's who it's talking about. Discriminating based off of how the food is prepared or who prepared it is so against the key. And that's the whole idea of Kutha Mas. Anything that is prepared ceremonially, whether that be the idea of Amritari yani langar shikana saryan, or it has to be made in sarblo, or you have to wash your hands 50 times a day because you like, you know, did anything. Like, you open the door, you have to wash your hands. You touch the toliya, you have to wash your hands. Name one thing on the face of this planet that isn't dirty. You know, your body actually has its own, like, microbiomes everywhere, right? Even your nose, your face, everything. But no. Bad stuff only exists out there somewhere, right? But what we have to understand is we have lost these ideas, why they exist. Now, I'm not gonna be pro Chatka, but only if reason for Chatka is they are, but they are, and if you need to. Yo, the thing is that when we talk about eating meat, it's not wrong. Going to hunt to learn how to hunt, I'm not against that, man. But it's like Sikhi's not against that. Our Athas isn't against that. It's fine to eat meat, period. It doesn't even have to be caught by you. Go out and hunt. What I'm saying is any type of ceremonially cooked dish, period, is not allowed in Sikhi. And the only thing that we prepare it in a certain manner is Kada Prasad, and we can talk about that. Kada Prasad Deg is a very, very deep concept that we have completely misconstrued. Go hunt, you're allowed to eat that. Go buy your food, you're allowed to eat that. You eat a cheeseburger. Because at the end of the day, whether you go kill the animal and then cook it, or you go buy it, you still consuming it, fam. Chakalo. Like, what's the difference? You know that shabd that we always mention in this conversation is haq paraya nanka usur is guy. You know what that shabd is talking about? Is eating someone else's well-earned money. Like, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਵਤ ਖੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਹਰੇਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਿਆ. That's what Ashab is talking about. Is all those people that will build their huge mansions with the money of the poor What's Jal Tori? But it doesn't. This idea of there's a correlation between what we consume and our spirituality. Spirituality is mental, man. If nothing in this world, if you are indulging in this world but still disconnected, like, chal, aj burger kha liya, par kalu lord nahi. That's what Guru Sahib truly goes at the essence of it all. It's fine to have a beamer. It's just, as the beamer comes, let it go. As the food comes, let it go. As the money comes, as the job comes, as the education comes, it's all gonna go. All of it. Realize that from the very beginning. It's just the fact of realizing it and then applying it that causes us pain. Because Guru te bharosa unni deri hunda jile everything is working in our favor. Then when something bad happens, then seafood is the same thing, right? Doesn't matter. Moss is moss. If Guru Sahib is saying pati tode malani pati pati jiyo, in every single piece of plant, every leaf, there is life, then what's the difference between seafood and normal food? Everything, food. But again, why are you consuming that? Sikh soch breeds Sikh action. Exactly. There is no such thing as karam, taram, and sadi vichar. Eating meat and not eating meat isn't gonna get you to Vaheguru either way, bro. No. What is simple life, bro? That's the question. At the end of the day, like, dal doesn't need tadka. Tadka kya laune hai? Why we have the gulab jamuns? Why we have the rasgulle? Why we do the vyah the way we do it? Why we need a Beamer? Why we need a 2017 Camry? All of this stuff, as it comes, shall go. And I've already explained this. I don't eat meat. मैं कभी नहीं खाता. ना खाता, ना खाना है. And I have my reasons. Personally, I don't like it. Then it tastes good. Second of all, I am with you. If you don't need it, don't eat it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to do with spirituality. It's about preference. I don't need it. I don't eat it. Anyways. The next thing that I want to talk about is nitnem. By the way, does anybody have any questions about this? That's what I'm saying. You don't need any of these things. Again, there is no difference between any of it. But we indulge in it. But just because we indulge in it doesn't mean we form attachments to it. Yeah, I put tadka in my dal. But at the end of the day, if I have sabji without tadka, then I'm marni chalna. I understand. As it came, as it goes. Like right now, I like tadka, man. Tadka wali dal bahut swad hai. But, dukh nahi lagna je tadka muk gaya. That makes sense. Same thing with meat. Eat it if you need it. Je nahi chahta na khao. If it's bad for you, don't. Na kar. Maya, no. Tan and Maya are two different things. Maya is anything that deludes you from the Guru. Anything that creates a misconception between you and your Guru and strays you away from the path, the marg, et marg par tarije, the path, anything that takes you away from that path is Maya. And that's written in Anand Sahib. I can quote the Shabad after the live, actually. I'll send it to you guys. I'll post it actually on my Instagram, and I'll post a link in the YouTube channel or YouTube video. And as we talk about this topic, we have to understand that a lot of these things in Sikhi, I'm not against people who eat meat. I'm not against most people. Yo, you know what's hilarious? Yesterday I was at a party, Hears versus Veers, right? And I was talking to a bunch of people. Most of them were really, really drunk. Not gonna lie. Monne sige, everything that you have, like, again, people that are like religious will talk about them and be like, Bode pade bande. You know what every single one of them said to me? They came to my face and they said, yo, what you're doing, bro, I appreciate it so much. I feel like you're helping me get on my path. But the people that have the biggest problem with everything I say, everything I do, everything that I stand for, everything I debate about, are the people that we call the most religious. So again, mera kaam nahi hai saying good and bad. My job is just to state the facts and leave everything else in Kal Purkh's hands, right? The star and your Panch Kakar don't make you a Sikh. It's what's between here and what comes out of here and how you see the world. If you see yourself as a bigger person for wearing a dastar, for being Amritari, ਵੀਰੇ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ. It's not here to make a hierarchy between me and you. We have to understand that. We have to observe that. We have to respect that. It's just sadly we've forgotten that. Anyways, topic that I was starting to touch. Any other questions on this topic? I think I've covered it pretty overwhelmingly. Again, anybody that still has any questions about this stuff, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure the live is lagging in sending your guys' comments to me. So message me if I don't answer any of these things, but I'm going to move on to talking about nitnem, okay? Actually, I'm going to talk about the Sikh's entire day and why we do what we do. A Sikh, when they're supposed to wake up, is at Amrit Vela. Now, there's arguments about Amrit Vela. Amrit Vela to some people is like 2:30, 3:30 to like 5:30 before sunrise. Some people say before sunrise and before sunrise. Some people say it's a fixed time. It's like 2:30 to like 3:30 to like 5:30ish. And some people say that it's mandatory, and some people say it's not mandatory, and some people say it's when you wake up that's supposed to be Amrit Vela, and some people say it's whenever you remember your guru, and sometimes people say it's the set times, and if you don't meet those set times, you missed Amrit Vela, man. Again, you do you. I try to follow Amrit Vela as, there are nights where I stay up till 4 a.m. Yes, I am going to post it on YouTube. There's times when I wake up or I'm studying until 5 a.m. because I have an 8 a.m. exam. Are you telling me that for those 2 hours between my exam and going to sleep, I should ratake Amrit Vela kara just for simple fact of finishing my nitnem? Not learning anything from it because I'm completely exhausted. Go take my exam or sleep for whatever time I have left. Then go take my exam and that's gonna like get me to Kal Purkh? Or is it, let me sleep for an hour, I'll wake up, I'll have 2 hours. Nitnem will help me with my anxiety. It'll help me with my daily routine. It'll give me a better perception of the world because I get to do it properly. No, I do Panjabani Ada Path. Nitnem is Panjabani Ada Path for any Amritari Sikh, right? And I'll talk about Panjabaniya. So I just started with Nitnem. So I do Nitnem, and it helps me clear my mind. I'll be honest, and I'll get to the functions of Nitnem and why we do it, right? Or why it was instilled in Sikhi. And this is just one lens of it, right? It's open to interpretation, and you can internalize it however you would like. This is just how I've done it. And means to me. Yeah, if you're rushed for time, then I still try to do all Panjabaniya the part always, um, and that's just my personal preference, right? Panjabaniya the part to me does exactly, but then there's that other side of it and then there's people that say nitnem has to be all Panjabaniya or else it doesn't count and you've destroyed your Amrit and all that stuff. First of all, Amrit kadi bhang nahi hunda. The thing is that the karata, if you break those outlooks in life, then that obviously you have to go in front of Panj Pyare and ask for forgiveness. But it's not like Amrit bhang ho gaya, you're no longer Sikh, you're like excommunicated. No, it's you have to be able to admit you've done something wrong. You have to be able to go in front of this group of people, to your brothers, and be able to say, I've messed up. Please forgive me and give me another chance. And asking for that forgiveness and being able to get back on one knee and ask your guru for another chance, and at the contract that we've signed as Singhs and Kaurs of our guru to work on something that's much bigger than ourselves, I think that's a huge step, and much respect to anybody that does that asks for forgiveness in front of the Panj Pyare. Anyways, nitnem, the reason we do nitnem is not for our guru. It's not like a protection that we get over our heads. The point of nitnem is to give us an outlook on how to run through our day, what we should be thinking about throughout our day. And here's an example of one of the numerous things that each Bani does for us. Japji Sahib starts with the idea of suniye. Or actually it starts with the idea of hukam. What is hukam? What is walking in hukam? And understanding everything happens in the idea and the command of Akal Purkh. That's very hard to do, right? Jale koi bimar hoye and what do we say? Hai Rabba tu ki kita. When do Japji Sahib, that's the first thing that shows up is hukam. The second thing that shows up is the idea of suniye. Being humble enough to actually freaking listen to another person. You know how hard it is for most of us to just listen to someone else without being judgmental and thinking about the next thing you're going to say to them? That's hard as hell. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I am. Suniye. So listening to your guru, what does that do for you? Suniye sat santokh gyan. Suniye art sat ka isnan. Suniye pad pave man. The people that do or follow the action of listening to Bani gain these things. And what does Bani tell us? Hukam rejahi chalana nanak likhya naal. Hukmi hovan akar hukum na kehe aa jai. Who listens to all of these things that are said in Bani, and then what happens next? Mannan di gal. Believing, trusting, having hope in. When we start having hope in all of this stuff, then maniye sort hove man buddh. The way you start thinking about the world changes. It reaches a new level, right? Manna sagal pavan ki sod. He starts an everlasting process of doing this. One of my favorite lines, actually, out of these 40, I'm not gonna lie, is manne mo chota na khai. He doesn't get hurt. When he truly starts believing in Guru's hukam, he doesn't start getting hurt anymore. It's like, okay, tera kiya meetha lage, har naam padarat nanak mange. That is the one characteristic I ask for. What is it? That anything you do starts seeming sweet to me. Guru Sahib, none of the Gurus talk to the God like just as a slave. You know what type of slavery they talk about? They talk about a slavery out of love. They talk about a marriage with Vaheguru. Between all of us and Vaheguru. Heck, even Anand Karaj is not talking about just you and your wife. It's talking about you, your wife, and Kalpurk. Always. Akal Purkh is the ethos, the center point of every single message in Bani. Then comes Jap Sahib. And people are like, yo, Jap Sahib is just literally saying like God's name like a billion times. It's a little deeper than that, man. Like we say God's everywhere. That doesn't actually carry that much weight as 199 pauriyan of Guru Sahib saying he's in the sky, he's in the ground, he's below the ground, he's in the insects, he's in the humans, he's in that, and he's in this. He's in the walls, he's in my computer, he's on the screen, he's everywhere. He's in me, he's in you, he's in this hair, he's in this, every single piece of us. That message doesn't hit us until we understand what everything means. And what is that? Namastang Akale, Namastang Kripale, Namastang Arupe, Namastang Anupe. The one that forgives us, Akal Purkh. I salute the one that forgives us. The one that has mercy. Every single characteristic that we look for in other people, Kedaya, Akal Purkh. Or Vaheguru. So that's Jap Sahib. Is understanding what we mean when we say that's all that exists. What is this idea of Ekonkar being exploited in physical forms, expanded upon in physical forms, is Jap Sahib. Tav Prasad Svaiye teaches us humility and humbleness, and also teaches us to let go. तब प्रसाद सवैये सरावग सुद्ध समूह सदान के देख फ्रियों कर जो रिदती के सूर सरादन शुद्ध सदादिक संत समूह अनेक मति के सारे ही देश को देख रहे हो मत कऊ ना देखिए तो प्राणपति के श्री भगवान के पाए कृपाहूं ते एक रति बिन एक रति के. It's talking about an emperor or anybody in power. They could be as strong as they want. Suddha supa durant dubah susaj sanandr jand lenge. Pari guman pare man mekar parbat pank hale na halenge. Tod adeed modod muasan mate matangan manam lenge. Sripat sir bhagwan pajeben ant ko ant ke tams lenge. Actually, I think I messed that up. Tirath naam Dya dam dam susanjam name anek basi ke Ved Puran Kateb Karan Jibeen Jaban Saban ke pekhe Paun ahar jati jat tar sabbe sube 4000 ke dekhe. At the end of every single party, it talks about so much power that some person can get, whether that's spiritual power, whether that's physical power, whether that's political power, whether that is like person's own strength. What it says at the end of every single one of those pauriyan, at the end of each stanza, every verse, is that that person is not even this much in front of Akal Purkh. Then the last two pauriyan of the Bani, Sach kahun, how it ends. Sach kahun sun leo sabah jin prem kiyo tin hi prapayo. I don't know how many of you guys remember my conversation about the depth of love. Prem is the deepest we can fall in love with anything or anyone. And that love is the one that we have that is all sacrificing and self-sacrificing. Prem is two different words put together. Pare tama. When you can get rid of yourself, sacrifice all that you are, ma, is taken away. Pare, the idea of pare, ma, that is the deepest we can fall in love with another entity or cause or something, anything in the world that we fall in love with. That is the deepest you can fall in love, is where you self-sacrifice. What does Guru Sahib say? Sach kahun. Hey, I'm telling the truth. Listen, all of you. Sun leo sabah. Jin prem kiyo. Only that person, that entity who is willing to give up everything, self-sacrificing love, then he prapayo. Kahun la pahon pujutariyo sir, kahu la ling kare latkayo. Now it starts talking about superstitions. Kahun likhyon haravati dasam kahun pushan ko sis navayo, ko bhutan ko pujat hai, pras kahun mratan ko pujantayo. Now it's talking about like how people pray to the left, pray to the right, pray to the south, east, west, south, every possible directions, towards the sun, towards the moon, towards the sea, towards the land, towards the mountains, all of it. What's the very last line in this Bani? Kood, kidya, urjo sab hi jag, Sri Bhagwan ko ped na payo. This world is filled with so much trash. Kood, kooda, kood, kidya, urjo sab hi jag. This world is so entangled in this crap, for lack of a better word. Urjo sab hi jag is so entangled with it. Sri Bhagwan ko ped na payo. No one can understand the secret of Akal Purkh. And what is that secret? At the end of the day, it's not what you eat, it's how you eat it. ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਮੰਨਣਾ ਕਿ if you're a Muslim, you're eating pork. If you're a Hindu, you're eating cow. Because it's not what you eat, it's how you eat it. How did you get it? ਕਿਸ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰਿਆ? That's what truly matters. At the essence of it all. Vaheguru. Then comes Benti Chopai. Well, some people do a different type of Chopai. Again, different conversation. I follow Ka Takt Rat Maryada. So that's what I'm going off of. Benti Chopai. The idea of Benti Chopai is Hamari karo haath de racha. Hey, O protector of all, protector of everyone's honor, tumri karo haath de racha, puran hoye chit ki ichha. That is my only wish in this world. Tavchan nan man rahe hamara. In your feet, in your presence, may my head stay. Tavchan nan man rahe hamara, apna jaan karo pratpara. Please make me yours. Hamre dusht sabay tumkavo. All of the enemies, all of the injustice, all the tyrannical stuff that goes on in this world, please fight it yourself. Hamri karo haath de racha, puran hoye chit ki ichha, tavchan nanan man rahe hamara, apna jaan karo pratpara, hamre dusht sabetam kaavo, aap haath de moy bachavo. With your own hand, please save me. That idea is, it's the whole Benti. What is Benti? Benti is your one wish. What is your desire? Guru Sahib tells us our desire at that point. Kavya Bach Benti Chopai is all of this other stuff. Cool. But what do I truly wish for is to become yours. And then Anand Sahib. In the morning, we do 40 pauriyan of Anand Sahib. We don't do the 6 that we do during Rahras or even at Samafti of any program. In 40 pauriyan, there are so many valuable lessons that are written in Punjabi, not in a complicated language, Punjabi. It says, "Eh netro mereo, sache sunne no pathai." Oh, my ears. So Guru Sahib talking to his own ears. He said, Sache sunne no pathai. The reason I placed you where I did, or why I gave them to you, why you have this function, is to listen to truth. To understand there is no difference between human beings. There is no difference between me and you. That's what you were supposed to learn. That's what you're supposed to understand. That's what you were supposed to hear. Then there's one more idea that I absolutely love in this Bani. People say that, oh, yo, Sikhi, like, it's so easy, man. Like, all it says is be a good human being, like, live your life, be cool to other people. You know what the Bani says? It says, Kannyo tikhi valo nikki et marg jana. Yeah, saying and talking about it is easy. What I'm doing right now, self-disclosure, I don't do all of this stuff. Siddhi gall hai. I know it's right. I know it's all what I'm supposed to be doing. Applying it is so hard. That is the essence of it. That's why we call ourselves Sikhs. To our last breath, what we're learning is ways of applying this, becoming this, utilizing this. Kannyo tikhi valo nikki. What does that mean? Kannyo is, you know the sharp side of a blade? Kannyo tikhi. Sharper than the edge of a blade. Valo nikki. So smaller than one hair. Et marg jana. That's the path that we have to walk. That's the path. Et marg jana. Understand that. Yeah, his question was about dogs and stuff. Yo. I don't have an answer from Bani, but I have an answer from what I've heard in history. We have to understand their bars back in the day weren't in closed vicinities. Anandpur Sahib was an open area where hundreds of thousands of people came and stood and sat. We have to understand when Guru Sahib was in Machiwada, when he was in Nanded, when he was running from away from persecution, that darbar wasn't the way that we have four walls. The stories have it that when Guru Sahib held his darbars, even deers and dogs and everything else that you could possibly name came and sat in Guru Sahib's darbar. Now, why is it that we don't allow dogs and all that stuff inside? Now, I don't know if you're talking about human beings, because first of all, if you're talking about human beings, we're all kutte, man. Sachi gall hai. Sadi ek june hai. 84 lakh junna, for me, in my opinion, doesn't come from our next life. It's about this life. I'm a kutta in this life, man. If all I chase is women, lust, and eat crap, what's the difference between me and a dog, man? And when we talk about allowing animals into their bar, we have to understand that the only reason that they wouldn't be allowed is because of sanitary reasons. There's logical things beyond spirituality that have to be taken into account. Like the amount of hair that they're going to shed. Again, potty training, all of that stuff have to be taken into account. So that question isn't just about if a dog's allowed. It's about even human beings that act a certain way. Like little babies wear diapers for a reason, right? We don't like our house being dirty. We wouldn't want our Guru's darbar being dirty either, right? So that's my answer to that question is, today, no. But it has nothing to do with spirituality. It has to do with forum. It has to do with cleanliness. It has to do with keeping Guru Sahib's darbar safe and sanitary. That's it. That's my answer to that. Okay, so Anand Sahib has these ideas that not only attack dogmas in the world, but our everyday life. एक कटंब जो तू देखदा साथ चले नाही तेरे नाले साथ तेरे चले नाही किस नाल क्यों चित लाइए ऐसा कर्म भूले न कीजे जित अंत पछोताइए. Understand this, human being. This is Guru Sahib being very straightforward with us. Nothing is going with you. Saath tere challe nahi. So why do you put your hopes in another human being? Why do you put all your efforts into another human being? Aisa karam mule nahi kije jit ant pachhotaiye. Don't do any action. Don't do anything in this world that will make you regret it at the end of your life. Like, yaar, I was like, that Sant Babaji is going to save my life. At the end of it all, he didn't do it. I still got cancer. I still died. Guru Sahib saying, Kyon? Why did you do that? So it warms us in nitnem. And that's how we start our day. And then we do ardas. And so here it leads me on to the next topic of our conversation. Ardas. I'm going to cover the very first part of Ardas again because it's not on my YouTube channel. So again, if this is repetitive, you can leave now. I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure it's not something that you guys want to hear twice. Okay. Ardas Ek Onkar Shri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Shri Bhagavati Ji Sahay Var Shri Bhagavati Ji Ki Pashahi Dasmi. So we start by remembering that all is one, Ek Onkar. Everything in the world is one. We all have this preconceived notion that we are all our own raindrops. But at the end of the day, when we say Ek Onkar, the idea is we let all that stuff go and merge into the ocean that is Akal Purkh. And the only person that creates that barrier between us and Akal Purkh is us. I am Jaspreet Singh, I am this, I am that, I go to this school, I have this responsibility, I have this. We never say, Tu ditta, main tera banda. Banda, by the way, doesn't mean human being. Banda means, originally meant slave. Main tera banda, I am your slave. It's giving yourself up in so much love, right? Ek Onkar Shri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So again, start with humility, right? Why do we say Fateh every time we meet another Gursikh? Is because before we start a conversation, we leave our ego at the doorstep, understanding that this conversation is not about winners or losers. This isn't about higher or smaller. This is us talking at the same level. That's why we say Fateh. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. That's who we work for, and to Vaheguru, to all of us, it goes a victory from this conversation, from whatever discussion we have, from whatever engagement we have. All of it is to pretty much like glory to be God, right? Glory to God. So again, beinti ehiya, whenever you say Fateh to another person, understand what you're saying and take the time to take the little emphases and pauses in saying Fateh so that you yourself can understand what it means. You give it the proper respect and the other person also understands and gets the proper respect. Shri Bhagavati Ji Sahay. So what is the idea of Bhagavati? Bhagavati means, it's written in Guru Granth Sahib, it means Bhagavati Parmeswar ka naam. So it's another name for Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Shri Bhagavati Ji Sahay. So always be there, always prevalent. Ji Sahay. Var Shri Bhagavati Ji Ki Pashahi Dasmi. So Var is ordinance, right? An ode in honor of Akal Purkh. Shri Bhagavati Ji Sahib Var Shri Bhagavati Ji Ki Pashahi Dasmi. So written by Dasme Pasha, right? The beginning of Ardas. Ji Ki Pashahi Dasmi Pratham Bhagavati Simar Kya. So first, we talk about the remembrance of God, right? Pratham Bhagavati Simar Kya. Guru Nanak Leite Aaye. So are we talking about Guru Nanak as just, remembering Guru Nanak? Or all the deeds that Guru Nanak accomplished? The destruction of so many dogmas, the destruction of so many inequalities, so many hierarchies, so many superstitions, and all of the work that Guru Nanak Dev Ji did, fought for water rights, fought for homeless people's rights. Sad thing is, we'll do ardas, we'll go downstairs, and when you ask someone if homeless people deserve food, some people will still say no. If you give them food, they're going to stay homeless. Tell that to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who dealt with Sacha Sodha. It's not a Sikh philosophy. You can have that philosophy to yourself, but it's not a Sikh philosophy. No, sir. Never can be. When we talk about Punjab's water problem, we think that it's today. But when Guru Sahib, and we talk about Panja Sahib Sakhi, Panja Sahib isn't about stopping the rock. That's not what we need to stop focusing on that part. The fact that Guru Sahib gave water to people that were talking about this person as a holy person. The person that lived at the top of the hill was regarded as a priest because he gave the people water as a king. And the reason he didn't give Guru Nanak Dev or Bhai Lehna Ji water, actually I think it was Bhai Mardana Ji. Bhai Mardana Ji water was because he found out that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was coming, and he was like, if your guy is so big, then he can give you water. It was his power play. And so he was like, okay. And he, again, where'd the water come from? I don't care. But the water came. That's it. That's all that matters to me. Was the boulder stopped? I don't care. Did Guru stop it with one hand? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's so irrelevant. Guru Sahib fought for water rights. That's the first thing we remember in Barney. The first thing we remember in Ardas, is Pratham Bhagavati Simar Kya Guru Nanak Leite Aaye. So what Tyai means is remember. Bring Guru Nanak into your mind. Fir Angad Gurte Amardas. What did Guru Angad Dev Ji do? He destroyed inequality between men and women. And actually Guru Nanak Dev Ji also stopped that with with attacking the idea of sutak. Sutak is the idea that women, when they're on their menstrual cycle, when they're on their period, cannot cook food or do any housework, or else whatever they touch becomes impure. Guru Nanak Dev Ji destroyed that idea in Asaki Var. If you want to read it, go ahead. And I'll actually post that Shabad as well. And then also the one that everybody loves talking about is sorry, now that Shabad's going out of my head too. Sokyo Manda Akhiye Jat Jamme Rajan. That's Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Angad Dev Ji. Guru Angad Dev Ji stopped the idea of sati and kund. Sati is the idea of a woman jumping on top of a pyre when her husband's being burned alive, or burned. When their corpse is being burnt, the woman is supposed to jump into the fire on purpose. If you want an example of this, the new movie Padmavati came out, and the BB does it at the end of the movie. And Kund is we still do that today. As Sikhs, we still do that. Where, it's bigger in the Muslim tradition where they have to cover their face. But in Sikh, or Punjabi tradition, not Sikh tradition, in Punjabi tradition, women cover their faces from their husbands. Some households still do this till this day. And that Guru Angad Dev Ji attacked that idea. And then Guru Amar Das Ji was actually homeless before he even met Guru Angad Dev Ji, and then became the next Guru. And so the Shabad comes, Hum rolte firte koi baat na puchta. I'm sorry, the time's up. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, I will start exactly here. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.